Zimbabweans say they cannot bear the economic and political hardships in their country any longer. And this follows a protest that happened at the Zimbabwe Consulate in Johannesburg on Monday, calling on the Zimbabwe President Emmerson Mnangagwa to step down as he has failed to rule the country. This follows a raft of new taxes and increases announced as part of Zimbabwe's 2024 budget by Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube, which has been widely condemned. The increase in passport fees to $200, up from $120, making it the most expensive in the region, seems to have provoked the most. And to talk about this, I'm being joined live on the news by spokesperson for Progressive Zimbabwe's Tino Maclean. Good morning, Mr. Maclean. Glad to have you join me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, if you could just help us sit back a little bit so we get a very nice framing of you. Now, could you explain the main reasons behind the recent protests at the Zimbabwe Consulate?
Thank you so much. The reason why we were marching at the consulate in Johannesburg, we are tired about the situation back home. Everything is scattered, they are eating public funds, expensive passport is now expensive, we don't have a medication in our hospital, things are worse. That's why we decided to send message to Zimbabwe telling the current government that we are tired about this situation that is happening back home.
Okay, in your opinion, what do you think is the biggest challenge, that has contributed to these, recent protests?
The big challenge that we have in Zimbabwe is about the situation, about the economy. Everything is scattered. Like, as I said, like when we come here in South Africa, we are trying to get a better life. We are running away from our country. Everything is expensive. Like now, look at passport. It's now 4,000. It's not everyone who can afford to have that passport. That's why you see many our brothers and sisters, when they are coming to South Africa, they are using bait bridge, they are crossing over the Limpopo River, they are getting killed, they are getting raped about this situation. So our opinion, we want Mnangagwa to resign. We are tired about massive looting, what they are doing in our country. The Zimbabwe is for ours, it belongs to all Zimbabweans. We all should be treated equal, not like individuals are benefiting from public funds. We want a better Zimbabwe for everyone. We want everyone to have a good life in our country. Look now, every Zimbabwe, they are all over the world, they are trying to get a green passport.
Okay, Tino, yes, apologies to jump in right there. You talked about expense in daily living. You mentioned rise in passport fees, but what steps do you think should be taken by the government or government officials to address these challenges you have highlighted and bring about a positive change in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, the government that they're supposed to do, they need to talk with, actually we demand a free elections, because like this current government, they cannot do anything for us. They failed us for 43 years. What we want in Zimbabwe right now, we want a free and fresh elections so that we can have a new government and see what they offer to us. Because we cannot trust this Mnangagwa in this regime, because they failed us long time back. So what we want and what we demand, we want a free elections so that we can see new government and see what they can offer to Zimbabweans, because we have suffered a lot.
One last question for you, Mr. Maclean. Do you think international community, should have a role to play? And what role do you feel or believe that should be in addressing this current challenge?
No, on that international community, I think it's up to us Zimbabweans. We need to act, because like if you are waiting for someone to come and fight for us, we won't win anything. In Zimbabwe, we need to unite. It doesn't matter where we're coming from. We're coming from Adebola land, we're coming from Maclean land. We need to be one team so that we can go and fight for our country. As Zimbabweans, we need to go and fight for our country, because if we don't fight for our country, no one will fight for our country. So like I don't see international community helping us. As Zimbabweans, we need to go to our country and fight for our country.
All right, thank you so much for your time on the news. Tino Maclean, spokesperson for Progressive Zimbabweans. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.